Hello, Fire will burn you another beautiful, beautiful Saturday afternoon and evening here in London. So you are all welcome. Welcome to the show. Tonight is all about the rest of the week, the whole week's episodes. Whatever has transpired has gone on during the week. So many things has come and passed or come to pass. And so we will discuss it tonight. Tonight, if everything goes well, you know, there is a lawyer in Ghana who speaks, I mean, he speaks bravely and he speaks hard and tough and harsh to power. He speaks to the point. And recently, not very long ago, this lawyer Martin Pebu, told Nanado he has failed and so he should go. This evening, hopefully, all the WhatsApp and the rest of the telephone lines all going well. We'll speak. Mansa Musa will speak, or I will interview lawyer Martin Pebu. So don't go anywhere. Stay with me, and you wouldn't regret it at all. It is now 7:23 here in the UK, and it is 6:23 in Ghana.
NFM Radio, Emudaho. For Sadia, Yenam Top Connect so Emanisika de Bagana if we are Fananina, Yenchia Capre. Annie, are you free? Top Connect a Masika Mania, I am Mrekra. You hear any sober download it with Top Connect app no our Play Store. Diama Android phone, and as we use iPhone so or Apple Store, not download the Top Connect. A simple cra. Top Connect to a member radio Numsu Europe, North America, and Asia. Woman will dofu sika for Top Connect so a tem na emre na mawa hoto swonso sesedi sika manye di foforo kra any Top Connect so we yan chechemu bia fra Top Connect our +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe Top Connect our befuntin tefidie nyina so Top Connect Fasika mani wa dofwa sunjemu a untia kapre Top Connect yensu ye DNA
Let me go straight to the point. We will find wada. Once you attack and send me says so, your work can see come air conditioner and also dumb air conditioning no and said that more can see no crane say. One funny papa and I'm installation now mountia. With everything called enterprise, air conditioning installation at the Mawa, Udamo, a Rubia, okay, you never called room, it's a cold stores, any Bavia, you didn't ever see. I was saying, you know, everything called enterprise. Every nice one at your Mawa, a Rubia, no, but you medicadica. You install central air conditioning, split air conditioning, car air conditioning, never solar panels on Sua. You want a nice Eddie Mawa, or you be a boost straight, not the only your body fee. So, what do you say? And our gas in a sense, say you'll come with the another dear, and our cold store dear. Then you know, a very nice and quick, but we will be a you don't have a yet the amount. Also, more rich, I'm always sit down and make anyone over to me and free you can lie with so. Yeah, install air conditioning, Ibiamamu. Frank class 447508650279. Oh, wager, I just sent Ghana Fire Service. Wow, France 0544-489-343 and 0302-906-276. Your website, you know, everythingcode.org. And I send you email, kjamwako@yahoo.co.uk. Everything called enterprise, air conditioning, a master, no.
NFM Radio, Emudaho. Mania, see fire will burn you. NFM Radio. Jumedia Mansa Musa ede bro. Juada kopem memneda. And on song. Ekopem non do. Listen to Fire Will Burn You on NFM Radio with Mansa Musa Monday to Saturday, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Welcome once again. If you've just tuned in, well, the show has not even started at all. It is all about what is happening in Ghana. And like I said, tonight we will discuss all the issues, things that has happened during the week. And so we're going to talk about Professor Frimpong Boateng has named some names, if you know what I mean. He has given us some names. Names of people whom he claims they are doing illegal mining. You know, when we say Galamsey, it's just a name. But if we point it out that what they are doing is illegal, is criminal, then maybe perhaps they will sit and take some notice. For now, they are not listening at all. But Professor Frimpong Manso has called out people like Gabi Ochredakon, Koku Bakon, people like, what's the name? Kojo Ponkruma, that somehow they are involved in Galamsey. He gave the report of what his findings, people doing wrong things since 2021, that he has given all these lists to Nanado. But Nanado, as usual, Nanado being Nanado, he doesn't give a damn, to put it mildly. Tonight, we will try and invite Mr. Martin Pigbu. He is a lawyer, astute lawyer, who is very outspoken in Ghana, we all know. Recently, he charged on Ekufuado for so many reasons, and that Ekufuado should go. Because according to Mr. Pigbu, the president isn't performing. So the president's lack of performance dictates that he goes away. So I've got lawyer Martin Pigbu on the line. Let's go straight because this telephone call, this is just a telephone chat. We didn't plan it. My producer asked me to call him. And so he was busy doing on his way somewhere. I said, should give us 15 minutes. So today, without further ado at all, no monologue from me. Lawyer Martin, good evening, sir.
Yes, evening, Mansa Musa.
How are you? I hope physically and mentally, emotionally, spiritually, everything is good.
Yes, I'm well. Though physically we are a bit tired, but we are coping.
Yeah, one thing about the physical is that if mentally and emotionally you are stable, it is better. And for the physical, you can recover. It is when mentally, emotionally, someone is weak, then we have a problem.
Yeah, right.
Then we have a problem. Anyway, listen, I call you to help me discuss, to shed some light on, your experience. So what do you think is happening? Because, look, the people on the government side will say, oh, so many countries have been to the IMF and they are struggling. The IMF is not giving them the money yet and everything. So it's the same with Ghana. Nothing to worry. But for me, sitting from where I sit and reading between the lines, I haven't seen or read that some finance ministers are chasing everybody in the West and in the East, asking for support, and they are not getting. I haven't read it. I haven't seen it. I've not been told. Why do you think our government is struggling to convince the IMF, if that is what it is?
Well, Mansa Musa, one thing is clear. You see, our governor Ofuriata was too much in a hurry to do the domestic debt exchange. So in the process, he made too many mistakes. He was just in a hurry, rushing. So he just, and then they bullied us. So this is a lawyer to one of the individual bondholders association. So you see, the people government borrowed money from the domestic bonds. All right. So I know a lot, at least a thing or two about the debt restructuring that was done. So you have a valid point, because you see, the point you are making is that even after the spring meetings of the IMF, the one that they just finished last week, what happened is that somehow along the line, the IMF, yes, we're still not happy a bit
NFM
with the way the domestic debt restructuring was done. So you see, the Korea quickly came back, and since then they've been trying to restructure more. So the point you are making, yes, is valid, which is that our finance minister is chasing citizens all over the place. You see, they did the first debt restructuring, and because they were so much in a hurry, they made mistakes. Now it is not holding together well, and so government is back to us, trying to renegotiate the debt restructuring they did. So you see that the whole of last week, the labor unions, TUC, NAT, that's Ghana National Association of Teachers, then the NAGRAT, Graduate Teachers Association of Ghana, etc. They all issue statements that they will not allow their pension funds to be renegotiated again. So you have a point. Furata is all over, just emasculating citizens. The little savings we gave to government of Ghana, it is time to pay the bonds. And Furata is now saying there's no money to pay. So as I'm talking to you currently, we are in another round of negotiations. They call it technical committee. By effectively, it's another round of negotiations that the domestic debt restructuring that we did, we should restructure again, because government is saying there's no money to pay us. Because you see, from 20th of February to now, about 6 of the bonds have matured, some of them principal, others interest, or you call them coupon. Government has not paid. Let me go into details. Some of the bonds matured on the 20th of February. Government has not paid. Another batch matured on the 6th of March. Government has not paid. Then there is 20th of March. Government has not paid. 27th of March. Government has not paid. 30th March. Government has not paid. And then there was another one. Was it 17th April? 17th or so of April. Government has not paid. You see, so the point you are making is very valid, that we are all over the place. What government has to do is to cut down extensively on the projects government wants to undertake this year. But Furiata is not willing to do so. So rather, he and Ekufado are willing to sacrifice citizens in the name of so-called development. So what you have to do is that cut down a lot of the projects you want to undertake. Because the money, you don't have enough money to undertake those projects. Citizens who lent you money are saying that we need our money back. We don't want to further lend you. Yet government is twisting our arms and trying to extend the repayment period of this loan. So it's a big problem. It's a big problem. Look, citizens need these bonds, the payments, to be able to buy medication, to be able to pay rent, to be able to buy food, etc. You see it? Yet right now, since 20th of February, government has been doing wagadre with us. Wagadre. Today this, tomorrow that. Oh, we'll pay, rest assured. We'll pay, rest assured, and they are not paying. Then the next day, oh, we just need a bit of time. So 20th February, right now, today is what? 22nd what? April. Is that not so? Yes. More than 1 month since the 20th February one, matured. So 2 months, sorry, why am I saying 1 month? So 20th February to 20th March, 1 month. 20th March to 20th April, 2 months. And government is telling us stories. But I don't blame them. Sometimes we is a citizenry. You see, we are so docile, we are very laid back. That is part of the problem.
Don't you think rather Ghanaians are overwhelmed, just tired? I mean, if you want to count this word, scandals, I mean, if you want to read into what is happening that isn't proper for public life, there's so much to go through. So that Ghanaians are rather tired, aren't they? Because if you say they are docile, it could be that to have 5 cities for the day, and you are going to march. Our demonstrations doesn't look like demonstration. We have to learn from the French citizens. But following a band, a brass band or reggae tune to go and walk past Flagstaff House isn't that of a demonstration. But Ghanaians are tired. Anyway, having said that, this 3 billion we are looking for, really and truly, you know the figures much more than I do in terms of these discussions. What exactly do you think it will do to the economy? What will it do?
Yeah, so it's for balance of payment support. Balance of payment. So when I say balance of payment, meaning that money, we will use it. So we're going to get dollars so that we'll be able to use that for our importation of foreign goods. So you see the things that we import, we use dollars. And Ghana, our currency is not dollars. So often we don't have enough dollars, right? And so there's always pressure so that we have to go and buy dollars. And that's what's happening, that the cedi is always depreciating, always falling. Because most of the things we import with dollars. But our local currency is not dollars. So how do you get dollars? It means you have to buy. And so because we often don't have enough in the system, then you see cities chasing the few dollars and then causing more depreciation. So if we get this money, we're going to be able to use it to be able to ease the pressure on the cedi, balance of payment support. So the things that we import, because we're always importing with dollars, when they give us the money now, we'll have more dollars to be able to use to import, so that the pressure on our cedi to be eased, and also most especially we'll have money to be able to import more stuff. And so this brings us to the fundamental problem which the president himself, diagnosed before he came into office, that look, we need to change the structure of the economy. We are importing too much, even food, rice, chicken, cooking oil, tomatoes, things that, look, a lot of millions of hectares of arable land in Ghana, and we can't farm to feed ourselves. So the president in opposition said that when he comes, we're going to do a lot of these farms, a lot of these import substitution industries, meaning we'll create our own industries to be able to produce the very things that we import. You see, so it means that we'll have more farms, because the rice and chicken alone, frozen chicken, fish, and billions, that's a lot of money. So we're supposed to set up our own farms to be able to produce these. Poultry farms, etc., rice farms, etc., so that we'll stop importing. He came and he took his eye off the ball. He didn't know, he didn't have the wherewithal, he didn't have the know-how to implement it. He was just interested in slogans. So he didn't set up any proper program to do the import substitution. You see the way Ghanaians like perfumed rice. He didn't set up any proper farms to be able to grow the number 5 American long grain and other types of perfumed rice in Ghana. Anyway, I know that the Ghanaian has acquired a foreign taste, and neither did he do strong programs to dissuade us from eating this food, so that we will eat more of the local rice. He didn't do much. Once in a while, you hear one minister or one individual mention it. Oh, let's eat local rice. Let's eat local rice. That's it. There wasn't any strong coordinated program. So the same true for all the other products, the cooking oil, the fish, and all those things, right? So the thing is that once those were not done, the pressure on the cedi has continued till date. So until we change, until we have big farms to produce these products locally, that's how the cedi will continue falling. Because there are also those who bring in their money to invest, and then every time of the year, around this time, March, April, May, June, they have to send the money back, the profit, repatriate profit. It also brings pressure on the cedi. So those people too, you see, now the cedi is beginning to fall. It's beginning, so it's going to be under pressure for some months. In actual fact, the cedi has held stable a bit because, because of the debt suspension. Meaning, since December, we've stopped paying our external loans. We suspended payments. That's how come the city is not falling as much because, now we are doing the restructuring with the external financiers, the Paris Club and the rest. We are now negotiating with them. So we stopped making the payments. And so December, January to date is giving the city a bit of rest. But when we resume, there's going to be pressure again. So the IMF money is useful. It will help to ease pressure on the city when it comes to importation of goods. And some of the imports, we even restricted them. We call them non-essential. So somewhere in December, we stopped giving the importers money for those ones. There's a long list of products we said will not import again. All this. So Mansa Musa has made a point. We all know the problem, but the president doesn't have the the technical know-how. All his people couldn't help him. His finance minister, agric minister, all of them, they couldn't help him to change the structure of the economy. And so we are in this big trouble. And of course, they did a reckless borrowing. They borrowed and borrowed without checking how we will repay. We borrowed and consumed. The very things they accused the previous administration of doing, that's what they've ended up doing. And now we are in trouble. And meanwhile, in the meantime, the president and his family have become very rich. So as they were borrowing recklessly, Data Bank was making money for Furiata and President Kufuado. So their families become very, very, very rich through the bonds, the very bonds that have made citizens poor. Now, President Kufuado and Furiata, they have become very rich through Data Bank. As a sad spectator.
Is it that I feel a sense of you are being generous or respectful when you say they don't have the technical qualities or abilities, to do the job, rather than maybe to say simply, cynically, it is on, deliberate, create, loot and share.
Well, that's how, yes, people say it. You can't run away from it. It's the same thing they said about the previous administration. So when people call them to create, loot, and share, a bunch of incompetent guys, that is it. They brought these things. Those were their terminologies. That the previous administration is family and friends government. And they are also doing the same now. President Kufuado said, I'll not steal your money. I have my own money. Today, we've all seen how he's made money through Data Bank here in Ofuriata. He says, so I come and now well, now the jury is out there. So many promises. I will arrest the dollar. The dollar is arrested the CD. So he will stop so much importation. Well, the importation has rather gone
In fact, he's failed on all counts, if we can put it that
definitely.
way. But let's go back to the CD and the dollar thing. I recently read, if I knew I would discuss this, I would have looked for it again, but I know I have it somewhere. That Kenya, I think it's Kenya, they've been able to negotiate with either Saudi Arabia or China to trade in their national currencies instead of going for dollars or pounds.
Tanzania.
I think it's rather Kenya, one of those countries. But the point is, if that is possible, why are we not pursuing the same course? Why are we not doing so? So that we try and leave the dollar issue a little bit behind us.
We will not be able to leave the dollar overnight. It's a more complicated matter. We can explore how to also trade so that they will accept more of our CD, but we can't leave the dollar overnight.
Yes. No. Obviously, those countries who have been able to negotiate, they are not going to leave it overnight. But I'm drawing your attention to something here: the skillful play in world politics or the geopolitics. I know that we are getting oil from cheap oil from Russia. Meanwhile, Nanado nearly antagonized them by, the references to Wagner at what we call Burkina Faso and the rest. Is it that we haven't got, like you say, we haven't got the skillful people to maneuver, even if they have brought us into this quagmire? The skill to, the skill craft to be able to negotiate your way through the non-aligned system we is it maybe what you are saying is true that we don't have the skilled persons in charge.
Yeah. Oh, that one is true. We don't have the right technical know-how. They were just interested in slogans, calling other people incompetent. And we believed them. We were supporting them. We thought that by voting out the previous administration, we're bringing in the best brains. It's turned out that they don't have that technical skills. They were just interested in slogans. So you see, they don't know this and their stuff well, and they've just led us into this big trouble. You borrow, you don't even model to see how you repay. You don't model well. You don't keep some for the rainy day. You don't plan in such a way that the rainy day you'll be able to survive. What kind of personal planning is that? Who plans like that? How do you spend all your money in such a way that the day there is trouble, you don't have money to go to hospital, you don't have money to shore up this unforeseen circumstances? When it's a very clear thing that when it comes to the national economics, they are always cyclical. Things will always suffer distance a few years. You see cocoa prices every few years, cocoa gold prices will go down. So we suffer external shocks, oil prices and the rest. So when you come to managing the national economy, you always know that there are these shocks. There are always external shocks. I didn't prepare enough for the rainy day. It's like the maidens in the, the Bible, who went to the wedding. The number of them didn't take extra oil. So they were there when their lanterns went off. That's why we suffered. Poor planning.
Yeah, the ladies who couldn't plan properly. I remember that story very well. In fact, I was there. I was there when those ladies misbehaved. But that's a story. That's a story for another time. Let's talk about a small matter of. I know NDC2 is doing their primaries, but I'm interested in NPP primaries, flag bearership. I mean, what are we to make of those standing to become flag bearers for NPP? Apart from the young fellow I interviewed recently, Kwabna Japan, the rest of them, what are they going to campaign on? Or they are just going to rely on the gullibility, ignorance of Ghanaians, or Ghanaians don't know what they are about, so we can lie our way through to come to power again. But seriously, if for those of you neutrals and intellectuals who look through every line, read through every line properly, Baumia, Kennedy Japan, the Greek foreign for the former minister, these people, what are they going to campaign on so that they become viable? What do you think?
No, Mansa Musa, that's a $1 billion question. Yes, that's a $1 billion question. So I can imagine it's extremely difficult for them. So do you see that now? Alan is attempting to say the obvious, the fact that they didn't do well in government. So you see him making statements here and there, acknowledging that the president is not competent. The president doesn't have the right vision and everything for this country. Yes, so for him to be, he's certainly not going to make much progress if Alan is going to campaign on the legacy of the president. The president's legacy has gone up in smoke. Okay, his legacy has gone up in smoke. The economy is in a deep crater. So what is there to campaign about? So Alan is taking the right decision by criticizing his own government. They didn't do well. Yes. So that's how it will go.
But as you lawyers say, guilty, is it guilty by association or how do you say it? I mean,
yes.
How will they detach themselves from this quagmire? Baumia in particular. I mean, how will they, or like I said, they think, oh, they can rely on Ghanaians, ignorance, that we are not very deep into politics properly. It's not about policies or the issues. Rather, it's all about sloganeering and maybe capitalize on ethnic sort of feelings and the rest. Mm-hmm. Maybe that is it. Otherwise, how are they going to convince Ghanaians that they are not part of it? I mean, how do you do that? How do you do that? Tell me, you have experience in it. You tell me something.
No, so that is it that you've said. So there are a number of factors that come together And so there are some people, they are diehards, both the NDC and NPP side. At least it appears at least 45% of our population belong to each side. Each side has at least 45% of the voting population.
Sure.
So you see that none of them ever gets below 45% in the national elections. So it appears around 45% on each side are constant for them. So the remaining 10%, those of us in the middle, are the people who shift from time to time. Yeah, so whoever is coming to campaign, I mean the MPP side, there's a certain minimum. That minimum of 45. Some will even tell you that it's about 47%. Well, but we'll leave that for another day. But once you accept that it is not below 45%, it means that the flag bearer hopefuls will be looking to campaign. If they get extra, just 5% plus one person, the person can win. So that's how our national election voting pattern looks like. A minimum of 45 to 47% for each of these two political parties. So you just need to try and convince 5% of those in the middle, and then you are good to go. So that's how.
Let's do this 7 minutes left quickly. There's somebody.
Another 7 minutes. Mansa Musa, we are done. We've gone past the 15.
Are we done past it? But I look on the clock. It's now 7 minutes to 7 in Ghana.
I have to get down.
Okay. Somebody is here. We want to join the call. Maybe just out of courtesy, just let's listen to him. Then I will let you gracefully bow out, because honestly, it's true. I promise 15 minutes. If we may have to just let. Hello.
Yeah, Mansa Musa.
Sorry, who is this?
This Abe.
Abe, introduce yourself as quickly as we can. What is your point?
Martin Pebu, yes, you are welcome. I have a question for you. One, were you part of the negotiators or lawyers for those who negotiated for the first domestic bond with Ken Ofori-Atta?
Yes, I was part. Yeah, I'm lawyer for the individual bond
the point
association of Ghana, one of the three groups. And we came together actually to present one front.
Okay. I don't know the detail of what you people negotiated on, but what conditions did you people give to Ofori-Atta before you consented to the first one? Because I expected you people to have also given them stringent conditions like IMF is giving. Before you appended you allowed them to do what they are doing. You see, they are coming back again. You understand? And a quick one regarding Alan Chairman team. Look, how did this man live or manage his ministry? Do you understand? When he was minister, if you go to that Ministry of Trade, it was chaos. Chaos like a marketplace. This one wants to be president too. Anyway, so please answer the question.
Let him, Martin, please.
Yes. Yeah, so the issue of the condition. So you are right. Yes, we gave a condition. We prepared a technical paper where we showed that the government should reduce expenditure by about 83 billion. 83 billion. We showed how government can make savings and cut down. So it was a technical paper we presented, and Ofori-Atta accepted it. But now he's doing U-turn. He's not implementing that paper. We all signed up to the paper, technical paper, showing government can reduce expenditure by about 83 billion.
Anyway,
yeah. So this time that he's coming again, I hope you people will demand evidence of achievement of that requirement, like IMF is doing to them. Because these people are just bullying domestic investors.
Abe, don't forget. Abe, 1 second before Martin responds. Look, don't forget that when he went to US, there was no Bible, no quotation. In Ghana, the quotation galore. So when he quotes, Martin Dems just melt. Martin, can I say so?
We didn't melt, but listen.
But Mansa Musa, on a larger note, all those people in Ghana calling themselves pastors, fathers, and so on, have you heard them predict anybody's demise in this part of the world, in UK, America? Have you heard of them? They're only pulling themselves in them.
Abe, and then Saturday, your friend, now he go somewhere.
Okay, Martin. Yeah, sorry for taking your time. Yeah, okay.
Thank you too, Martin. I'll let you go, but before you go, in fact, more news to even play with next week. We are hearing reports that the IGP apparently have sent out communique to his commanders. Nobody should allow electricity meter readers into their premises. And that it is something that one day we'll discuss with all of us. I mean, this is something anyway. That one, Martin, thank you very much. In future, we'll find more time to discuss. And Abe, you too, thank you very much indeed.
Okay.
NFM Radio.
Right, so that was me with my good friends Abe and Martin from Ghana. Interesting. You see what is happening in our country today. You can write so many. You know the comedy series that we had in UK here, Only Fools and Horses. I tell you what, if Ghana, what is happening, we can make Only Fools and Horses series about 100 times, and it still not be enough. I mean, goodness me, it is sad, it is funny, it is ridiculous, it is dangerous. How their tributes, baby, that's what it is in Ghana. People are using their standing in political office, in public office, to make themselves rich at the expense of everybody. Let's take a quick advert. We'll be back and to continue.
Abusiafo sese die ye nam top connect so e mani sika de bagana if we asia fa na nyina ye ntia kapre ane eye free top connect amasika mani ayem rekra ye wo hia ne se wo be download wo top connect app no e wo Play Store di ama wo Android phone ana se wo use iPhone so a ko Apple Store na download the top connect eye simple kra top connect wa man be bro aduonum so wo Europe, North America and Asia wo mane wo dofu sika fa top connect so a tem na emre na mawa hoto so sese die sika manye di foforo kra any top connect so we yan chechemu bia fra top connect our +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe top connect our befuntin tefidie nyina so top connect Fesika mani wa dofo sumjemu a untia kapre top connect yensu ye dienie
Abusia, let me go straight to the point. We even found wada. Once you attack and send be says so your work see come air conditioner and also dumb air conditioning and said that more sir no crane say one funny papa man installation now mountia with everything called enterprise air conditioning installation at the Odemo Rubia okay you never called room it's a cold stores any bavia you didn't see I was saying everything called enterprise. Every nice one had your mower, a Rubia, no Pajuma Dikadika. You install central air conditioning, split air conditioning, car air conditioning, never solar panels on Swa. You want a nice Eddie mower, or you will be a busu straight lights na fe wo de nya ho de wo fie se wo de asset ana gas na sa se yo kam de ana fie de ana cold store de ni nyina e very nice and quick but bi o bia ye beba be ye de ama o so am wo brochira mo be si dan e wo mai kene wo ano wo betumi afra UK line we so ye be install air conditioning ni bi ama mo try +447508650279 Wager adjacent Ghana Fire Service wa France 0544489343 and 0302906276. Your website everythingcode.org and I send you email kjamwako@yahoo.co.uk. Everything Code Enterprise air conditioning na master no.
NFM Radio, Emudaho. National Democratic Congress, NDC, no young for money, Mamma, UK, Ireland chapter. No, ya yet, then I say a bit about 80 chapter chairman for four. That's a detrimental look on his way, and no young for Dr. Joe Ajimai, the restoration man. The father said, it departed wedding kind. Oh, dear, when you say my putting a year, you will to the whistle for Master Koso. One more, my dear, funny what it through. Now it's in a nice room. You might give a brain or dear Guaquema, or by a dear Maye, Billy said, oh, Sijna ye, a sequel to media beer, which is a party office. Now, or the £3 and payment numina to us here, and yet £5,000. Or Sancho Magwoni Mama Honsu, £1,000 na ever show Mujuma Mukina, na is Sijna. Don't swear, but you're a for all that true Mudi, Abaka party in a hoodie. Among Bracrao, almost a Baka or Mudika, and 10 times so. Now, actually, I don't Abakaya home. And you was me and Sebiano. Party moon penufua, only the ready ever show me Sebiano, about 2 saffron what's nothing. Not the idea show me said, over Marco. When the Brennan or Bayama, only a supporter was ever mount to ma, Christianity. Yet, Dr. Joe Ajimai, the restoration man, Tapa Chairman, Yantumano.
Wana mutane NDC da ke United Kingdom da Ireland chapter ina roƙon ku har wa yau ku vote ku ba chairman Akwa shi kada ne wanda in Allah ya yarda ya win ya zama chairman zai kawo welfare program da zai taimaka muku ya taimaka ma party mu. Daga cikin wannan welfare program dukkan member da ke neman taimako lokacin da ya shiga cikin masuwa abin da ya kama daga £50 zuwa £400 welfare program na ya tabbatar a baka a taimaka maka in Allah ya maka dalili ka biya wannan kudi. Bayan haka kuma dukkan memba da ke neman wani taimako sha'anin batun takardun shi ko wurin zama ya ajiye manya da lauyoyi da kowane lokaci kake neman advice ko kake neman wani lawyer da zai taimaka maka akan batun sha'anin zaman ka a kasan United Kingdom shi kuma su bi bayan ka su taimaka maka su saya maka ka biya wani abu kadan da yake in ka je waje zaka doki lawyer ba da ka same shi haka nan ba. Muna rokonka member NDC da ke United Kingdom ko Ireland in lokacin vote ya kai ka vote ka ba Chairman Akwa shi kare ne wanda yake zai taimaka ma fatin mu a lokacin da muke ciki. Wannan shine sanarwa ko wannan shine abin da muke roko ku taimaka mishi Allah kuma ya taimaka mu duka gaba daya Allah ba mu nasara. Mun gode muku da kuka saurare mu. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
President Nanado, your friend Matheson, Sunyana Namiwo. Makotna awonu Holland. Ako Sam in Fifure. Sika kakra minya no. Me dia ba mia me maimu Ghana. Dia ba beto registered bank. Eye JN Bank yi. President Nanado Uber TV so be katre Ghana for say. JN Bank anye na dwuma yi. Ti waje bank ne licenses no. Wo the customers ni sika be mo. 3 years muni mensanka emisika. Sika kakra ka ye no so 550 million. Media kwa to commercial bank. Na me say commercial bank de me di misika koto ho a e save. President Nanado enam IMF bosia na wo kwa akoboni nti. Osimi misika 550 million na odi akwa akoye adwuma nya interest wo so no. Once the Quran onfa mame. Misika trend no so. Ose onfa mame. Just 2024. Na sika no interest ketewa no a menya no. Obema me mu 5%. Menya adwuma wɔ Ghana. Mentimi so enko Holland sɛ mekɔyɛ adwuma. Memfi akɔ anim kakra. Kwan bɛn so na mefa so a me ne me yere ne me mma yɛbɛdidi. Mr. President, mesrɛw sɛ me mma sɛ mebɛsiri sika afiri hɔ. Mia me sika makɔsam mfifire anya no. Mesrɛw sɛ wobɛma me nsa aka. Obi bia obi tie saa me audio me recording yi bi no. Mesrɛw sɛ mode bɛto mo platform so. Ebetimi afa so ma President Nanado ne nsa aka wenyamasɛm yi bi etie. Ghana mpanyinfo mesrɛw so sɛ mo ne President Nanado bɛkasa ama me. Medam ase.
Good morning, President Nanado Adankwa Akufo-Addo. I'm paying me bano boko. Within the ASP retired Franklin Nate. Mesun Ghana ewo police mu 24 plus years. Na me gratuity me nsan kano me di top bond 2 years aka 1 year this year September 2023 na me bond no amateur wo adwina wo di ba ye say wakoboka ana wa bugana abofom enti me brama bre sika medi to bond no commercial bank no onfa mame we enye am robber ene ebe chimiji me sika o oman panyi a ya to abama no se onhwe yeso emra wo fru plane 18,000 pounds an hour nkrofo kachre want emra wo fa so many ministers se omunu na oni omu betumi ayejuma nkrofo kachre want ene your incompetence inti me bre amabre medisika yedi tua me ka say gratuity me fa hwe me ho so no usi wafa this is 2033 se mi manu na opese omumbeji sika na me na no mu a menim president woni diemu Israel unua na ni bank edi enim eji loans no mfaso a wanya no misrew mano fa nsa mfaso no ekutu yesika no mesika no mfa mame Nanado utrimu yedin papa obi a maye juma Ghana mra kire se 24 years plus no yentu ameka as a retired officer no usi untu ameka menya 60 years here. Nanado Minister Mibisa, have you been a civil servant in Ghana before? Have you worked as a civil servant? Please. Nanado. Mimpese. Mbe kasati yao. Mimpese mbe dumi usu eni ubusiya derby. Midi yao esreo. Tise na Mr. Matheson. Efri sunyani esreo no. Jai misika mami, midin the ASP Franklin Kwesi Nate, me tome bon wo commercial bank. It was Accra North branch. Please, I beg you, in the name of God, don't touch my money. Don't touch my money. Don't touch my money. Anybody who receives this, please send it to as many platforms for Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo to see, to hear, and to see. Or his cousin Ken Oforiatta should hear. Please, please,
Please, Nanado, I'm not supposed to beg you. Because when you were begging that you should be tried, I remember traveling from Kumasi to Kofrodua to vote for you 2016, thinking you are bringing something on board. I regretted it. I have regretted all my life. Some friends told me, Anka unya accident or question na uya. Well, Nanado, please, whoever received this message, forward it to as many platforms. Let Nanado hear me and ensure I have my money. Thank you.
What's name wacha? Manage 2 years. Says here the fear be 2 years. I want them. What's name? What's name 2 years? We are 2 years account. Says here no. Sir, dan someone has said per se. Open single room. Says here no put 600. Put 500. Put 700, 800. Not dying. Says here agent for age 100 CDs for viewing fee, and I say 80 Ghana for viewing fee. Just show you the room. Says here if you're a for beard your mother agent for Uchia 9,600 also Uchia agent 900, 600 900 and almost 1,000 CDs. Why? Says here you to the day. Why? Like why? What? Like why? Hey, like it's serious. Say, Matsna demo 2 years. I'm paying 8,000. Now I'm supposed to pay 9,600. And you're taking the 2 years. You take 1 year and put. Because you see, me and 6 months in 1 year. Says here, we are Juma may fear. Uba Boab, Busumi pay the amount. Say 600 or say 700. You have to eat only small one a pay because I'm a whole month. I'm a pay. And Tibaka one bad day. Umay should be you. Umay should be you or my 1 penny for Munka once a machine. Youth for the year, Brenna, ye kun, anyhow. A direct in tea, ye begging pontino, Uba come ye kun. Bobe koma ye kunti youth nti ye brand edan sem kunye adey how Ghana ye ble papa adey and the fear walk in encourage say me patro me pedan mod because who agent viewing fees or do what said them or bet you 80 CDs and now say 100 CDs. And then some are dying. Who could have 600? Oh, nothing room name. Or do 2 years, 600 CDs, 2 years. Because of that, and into the ultimate mother down or no person or 2. Now or do a for a show on what 600, what 500. Then they would turn into a person who 2 years. And the moon can shame my and say youth in the year bread. Ye am a better a bone, ye are swear to a back. I made your main influence in crop for a cake.
So basically what you have there are you have communication specialists, directors of communications, deputy directors of communications, technical communication assistants, media aides, media liaison officers, communication consultants, presidential advisor on media who has a technical director to the presidential advisor. Then you have the ministers of state at the presidency.
And these guys are there for information minister.
Yes.
No, go through that list again. Just on the communication side.
There's a lot to communicate.
Stop it.
I'm just telling you.
You have information minister who's cabinet level.
Who has ISD working for him too.
And then you're having all these guys working under the presidency.
Who work under communications directorate. Yeah.
Of the presidency.
Yeah. There's a lot to communicate.
You can't be serious.
I'm just telling you, there's a lot to communicate.
And what are the conditions of service of these people?
Nobody knows. That's the issue.
That's why the transparency is not. So if I'm a lecturer in Legon and I've been teaching for 15 years, right? And I struggle to get my PhD. And then you have somebody who is a technical director to who has access to fuel. Read the letter they wrote. They said their fuel thing is not gone up. So this technical director, what's the competence, what's the qualification of somebody to do this work? So if we are not transparent, and I'm saying that this is mathematics, this one is not sentiment. If the government wants the pressure from the labor unions to go down, and they want to, and if they want a credible plan for IMF to, if the plan is not credible, see, if people don't accept the plan, it's not credible. If the labor unions, the businesses don't accept the policy, the IMF will not accept it. So if they will not be transparent with these guys and say, this is what we are doing, I can understand why you have all these guys working, and what are they doing? You said they have a lot to communicate. What are they communicating?
I'm just telling you. But if what would be the justification for
look at
directors of communications?
Mention mention the post again. Mention the thing again.
So the directors of communications.
How many directors of communication?
Yes, 4.
4 directors of communication, and then deputy director of communication.
There are 5 deputy directors
at the presidency.
Yes.
And then which one again?
2 communication specialists.
So the director is not a specialist. Okay, the specialist below.
There's a lot to communicate.
2 communication specialists and
2
then
communication officers. 5 technical communication assistants.
So you have 4, 5, 9, 6, 7 plus 3, 10, 15.
Media aid.
How many?
1.
Media aid.
16,
assistant media liaison
16,
officer.
17.
Communication consultant.
18.
Then there's a presidential advisor on media.
Charlie, are you sure you're not joking? Are you saying what are you? What is not joking? What are you saying? No.
Of all the positions,
guys, let's go through this again. Let's go through this thing again. I want to be sure. And sorry if we are picking.
Right, welcome back to the NFM Radio show. This is Fire Benny, Mansa Musa. I'm sitting on the captain's bridge. I'm driving the ship, and I'm sure you are ready to sail away with me. So, the conversation is all centered around whatever has happened during the past few days, the week, leading up to tonight or today, Saturday. Is it the 22nd of April? And it's all about some news items such as the recent news outbreak. I mean, the news that came about that Professor Frimpong Boating did submit a report which was requested by the president. He, Professor Frimpong Boating, prepared a full report and sent it to Nanado. Didn't Nanado said Nanado report now we hear enti hwena ye ho adwuma. Now we share report anymore is about I don't know what is going on, but so be the endada e bu oban. It will be the Nyansakrono e the BT Ghana for. It got to be said in no uncertain terms because Ekufuado goes everywhere to say that he's on top of his game and that he's fighting galamsey or illegal mining. And yet, Professor Frimpong Boating states or is saying that he did present this report to Ekufuado as far back as 2021. So we are in 2023, so maybe roughly 2 years ago. And the president, as usual, being Ekufuado, I won't be surprised if he has chucked it in the bin. Because some of the comments being made by somebody like Gabi Ochiredako, yesterday I read somewhere, scornfully mocking Professor Frimpong Boating, asking him that he Gabi asking Frimpong Boating a question that you have gone to report me to the president to do what, in a way, telling everybody that it is useless for anyone to report Gabi Ochiredako to the president because president no anyway. Last minute MPP ni penny for Bakudi in Como. First, na or stray na kasa say, na do bo man, na da yen nyoma wa yesi wa yesi edu baby no no esero say, ai akwa ni munyansa ho. Akwa ni me say ade na kasa say, de ekoso ide. MPP ni o say de ekoso ide. Che say, broni say impunity. Twi mu ye kan say tintirianity say, they don't care. They don't mind. They know say Ghana for him say Oma Fanyansa kwa hu de nye sika bebre, and so they don't care, they don't mind. Why has it come to this? No, seriously, why has it come to this? Say, Omaina Ibu Afedie. One family has taken over. They have taken, they've taken everything. I mean, they are in charge. And they don't care. So the names that Professor Frimpong Boating brought about, those names like Kwekubako and Kojo Ponkroma, now they are all talking. Kasa. Everybody is, protesting. Minkahubi, minyese. It came to light not long ago that what do we call it? What's his name? Chairman Woon to me had gone into a forest reserve to mine or something. Ekufuado stood on platform in public to say no. Chairman Woon to me, and that is finished. You see, when I interviewed Martin Pebu, he said something like Ghanaians are docile. No, that the Ghanaians have been fooled. I mean, they have been fooled and folded ye Jimmy Omwan, ye abubo muti sekete, and ye to baby. Because I can't get say, even when when it is clear that these guys are fooling us, everybody is quiet. Everybody rather the abane say obia kope ni de kakra a obenya. Instead of people to confront these, what do you call it, these Akufo-Addo and his people, rather everybody now, even commentators and journalists and presenters who recently were condemning Akufo-Addo seriously. Oh, they say, they've gone back to their roots. They've gone back to their MPP roots. I mean, what dream one want to say? These people we thought say, we presenters, see the dream do, read the how politics is done. Say it's all about policies and that you can love the party if you don't, they don't deliver, and you don't want to even, switch to the other side, then maybe you just keep quiet. But to switch back to them and support that, the same people who have ruined everything, the same people who have destroyed the economy. It's sad, really, Ghana, for the way you're thinking, your line of thinking. I mean, the dynamics in our brain. I mean, and how can you, about 3, 4, 6 months ago, condemn Akufo-Addo's administration, condemn the people that they are all useless? Now, after a few months, you are back with them again. What is it? What is the reasoning behind that? What is the reasoning behind people switching from serious opposition to wrongdoing to now almost back to their roots? Strong opposition to wrongdoing. Then you turn around full circle or half circle, 180 degrees, to go and join the people you were what do we call it? Criticizing not long ago. In a way, you're quite now see by
NFM Radio.
Seriously? So if you look at this, the things I'm talking about, now we hear that the IGP, Dampare, has instructed his commanders in the country that the commanders shouldn't allow ECG meter readers. I mean, the electricity company or the corporation, their meter readers, that the commanders shouldn't allow such people into their premises for them to come and check or read the meters, electric meters. You see, when the whole state has become a cabal, when it has become a cabal, a gang, and everyone is, rushing and gathering as much as they can, when you have a police officer who has achieved he has not been able to solve a single one of the serious crimes we've witnessed recently of late. Dampare hasn't sought out any serious offenses, any serious criminal case, armed robbery, everything that you can imagine. Dampare has not been able to solve one. And yet he's going about dancing a zonto. Then he can actually send information or directives or orders to his commanders that, look, the meter readers, don't let them into your premises at all. Why? Because Akufo-Addo has failed. And for this confirmation, these facts, to actually substantiate the already known, already known facts that government is bankrupt. I don't want to say it sounded like this nicely, Ghana's economy is bad. No, the government is bankrupt. It is a Ghana government that is bankrupt. They don't know where to get money to do whatever they want to do. And so if these meter readers go about reading the meters, then it will confirm the whole world. Even though we know already, oh, this is a disgrace, it's not good. Let's try and protect the president. President way. Jesus Christ, Ghana for my president way. Semuni. Yusuf, NFM Radio.
Emudaho.
Akwaba.
Yenya. Michelle will be greeting to everyone on NFM Radio, the best radio station right now.
Thank you.
Yeah. All what I can say is that you also said that you posted something that you were going to interview lawyer Martin Pebu.
Yes, he's come and gone.
Oh, he's come and gone. Okay, all right. Anyway, I wanted to just say, him being a lawyer, lawyers, they have their role to play in the governance and all that. But it's true you said, Ghana is bankrupt. We are in a recession. The country is in a recession now. And when we look at those that have created all this chaos, in fact, it's not even only Ken Uforiata, him being the Minister of Finance, because the Minister of Finance is to collect revenues, implement government's policies on, finances and all that. Make sure so he should be held accountable regarding how he spends our monies and how the monies he's collected the monies and where the monies are gone. But there is one area of the financial institution which Ghanaians have kept mute and not going there. And in fact, the president being the commander-in-chief himself, he knows. And that is what? Our central bank, the Bank of Ghana. Because these institutions, they are the ones that are in charge of what? Our monetary policy. And they are the ones that even would propose, review any monetary policy that will work for Ghana before even it becomes a policy. They make recommendations, they proposes, they make it just like the Federal Reserves of America, which is the same as our Bank of Ghana, and the Treasury is our Ministry of Finance. So these two financial institutions, both of them, they are to be held responsible. In fact, by this time, Nadu should have changed all these things. The governors or those in charge, the governor of Bank of Ghana and all on the board, he should have changed them, because the policies that they have, the monetary policies that they have given or proposed to be enacted, it's not working. It has brought Ghana into this financial mess, into this bankruptcy that you said. Ghana is bankrupt. And we don't hear anybody, we only hear about Ken Oforiatta, Minister of Finance. How about the Bank of Ghana? They are also part and parcel of it. So in fact, and you also said that people are not standing up to talk. Ghanaians are mute. In fact, who are those that are to rise up now? In political science, and in democracy, it is legal to go for demonstrations. In fact, this is the time I would say it is our democratic right for people, Ghanaians, to organize. The trade unions, they should organize mass protest against this government. The second protest should be if we have the right parliamentarians, they should stand up and start to try and impeach this government for not being responsible and this economical mess that he has brought to Ghanaians. So this is what I can say now. Ghanaians, from now we should stand up. There should be mass protest. It is legal. It is our democratic right. In fact, when I studied political science, demonstrations is right to demonstrate. That is how you can get to to send your message to the government that they are not doing things right. But if everyone is there, mute, no demonstrations, parliamentarians are not doing anything to try and impeach this this government, and we are only talking about, merely just saying, the economy is down, we are in recession, Kanufurata has done this, there's Galamstees here, that's what. Look, what we should be doing now is protest. What the parliamentarians should be doing now is to stand up and defend the Constitution. Article 69. Everyone should read that. Thank you very much, Mansa Musa.
Thank you. That is Yusuf's take. Comrade Yusuf's take on Ghana issue. Well, person also can be I am forever ready and ready for you. See what I mean? Me can't forever no ready no me no. I am forever ready and ready for you. Let me see. Okay, thank you. Right, so it is your time to join me for a chat, a good chat like that.
NFM Radio.
Right, so continuing with what I'm talking about, we all know that the government is broke. The government of Ghana is bankrupt. And instead of the president and his people just letting Ghanaians know that they are humans, failure has come in, but they are trying their best. Instead, Kufuor is so proud, as we say in Akan, or ye big time. And you know, sa nukrene dahono yebeka hwasem. So here Kufuor has instructed whoever he come to always keep under wraps anything that will embarrass the government. So much so say the IGP is alleged to have sent instructions to his commanders so that they won't talk or they won't allow meter readers into their premises to read the meters. Because they know that when the meter readers come along and they come to read the meters, they will find out that those police quarters and their offices and the rest, they owe large sums of money. And for that matter, maybe they will be disconnected, because we know that some police barracks have had their electricity disconnected. We know this already. So why will the IGP instruct his commanders to refuse access to the to meter readers? Inti chese Ghana no bibia ekoso keke bibia chese Kufuor no oye ahonfe super guy ojane na so brema gram tintin o na dwimu do enti no eni se obia egu nanimu ase o mine na obu no obu se ne kra no a ese ye mo na ye protect no. What is this about? Now, the other story in the crowd, the OT crowd, bubefu. So it is a story no Americano, Elia Wano. Gabi Ochiredako. Or say, silly Frimpon, Boatin reported me to the president to do what? Gabi Ochiredako. Or say, cousin to the president, Nana Akufo-Addo, senior partner of the Africa Legal Associates, Gabi Asari Ochiredako has described as silly an account suggesting that a former minister reported him to the president for interfering with Galamsey fight. On quote here, he said he is going to report me to the president as if he is a teacher and the president is the master, and I am what? School prefect, and I have done something wrong? What kind of silliness is that? So this is Gabi Ochiredako retorting. The influential member of the New Patriotic Party was responding to a report by Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng, a former minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovations, who chaired the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, MCIMU. In the report gone viral, the former minister recounted an instance when Mr. Ochredako called to question his decision to order dislodgement of equipment of a mining company, Imperial Heritage, which Professor Frimpong Boateng argues was mining illegally in a he was mining illegally with a prospecting license in a forest reserve. So this company had the prospecting license, not a mining license, right? To do gold prospects. Then he went to do the gold prospects or so in a forest reserve. So even if he wasn't even mining and he was prospecting, that was a forest reserve. So why would Gabio Chedako call to find out when a president has given orders to a minister to do a certain job, to carry out a certain task, then the cousin of the president can come and rubbish him like this? No, Ghana kwana sasem we besio. Yakan ye nyina nim say Ghana pe ene sansem hu we ekufa do betimi di aba e ma Ghana fo agya tum ne yeti baby ya ye din en fire ho. You are listening to Mansa Musa. The program is Fire Will Burn You. Kindly join me for the fire to keep burning. To say this, that I've got an audio blog from, or let's say by Papa Kwesi Indom. Yes, do you remember him? He's still alive and kicking. Papa Kwesi Indom has made a monologue. He has done some one-man speech on recorded speech, and he has indicated, or he has put forward some programs that can help Ghana democracy. In a few moments time, I'll play the audio. It's not too long. So Papa Kwesindem is now speaking. The next issue I want to talk about is the health minister. Health minister speaking with subtlety, with how do we call it? That sort of coded messages. the health minister telling us Ghanaian that, it seems the national health insurance scheme is not working because whenever he's been to hospital, he has had to pay for the treatment. That is what the health minister is saying. So my question I'm asking is, why is the health minister saying this now? There is no point because Ghana, nobody listens. Abani Munkrof no, a good father and your way the fan health minister Abeka say insurance scheme no and so what? Just like Gabia Charakon is saying, health minister says the scheme, the health insurance scheme is not working. And so what? When I tell you Ghana, this is how the country is being run. This is how the country is being run. Basa, 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 basa. Basa, basa, basa. Which is a shame, seriously. Before I go to the next one, I think Yusuf is here. Let me. Hello, Yusuf.
NFM Radio.
Emudaho.
Masaf Radio,
no worries.
In fact, I quite remember, sir, when I was doing my political science studies in the university here, one of my professors, we were talking about democratic governance and in terms of when the government is not doing well and when people protest and all that. So we were talking about demonstration, and the professor asked us a question. He says, what are the reasons of all the protests? And everybody was sitting down quiet in the class. I raised my hand, I said, it is to send a message to the government that they have failed in all these areas. And that brings them to shame of their failures. I said, yes, absolutely. You see, that is when I picked that it was our democratic right. That's why Nanado, he knew that before he became president, didn't he organize Kumproko? Well, quite well. And so I'm telling Ghanaians that we should stand up and protest, go on our rights, our democratic use our democratic rights and organize. I know Captain Smart and others, they've done some before and all that, but it's gone quiet. This has to come back again because why? Because the president has failed to sack the governor of Bank of Ghana, who is part of our monetary policy that is not working, be it expansionary policy or contraction policy, which is supposed to work for us, is not working. Their policies are not working, which has brought us into this mess. Together with the Minister of Finance, who has also failed in terms of accountability, So and he has failed to sack all these people. So you see, in protest, you should be seeing placards like, sack the finance minister, sack the governor of Bank of Ghana, or you resign. The president has failed to defend the constitution. He swore in to come in and defend the constitution, defend our financial system. Now it's in what? It's in chaos. So in fact, we need a strong leader to come and to sort out all this mess that is in Ghana, because we need a strong leader to actually come and investigate all those who have embezzled funds. In fact, if you are still embezzling Ghana's funds now, you should stop, because all those who have embezzled, I think a strong leader should come and investigate all of them and get all that monies back into government coffers. Whatever they are, you should go after them. And we need a leader like that. Even in 2024, whoever becomes the leader, if he comes and he doesn't do this, he's not going to solve our problems. Once and for all, we need a strong leader for Ghana. Thank you very much, Mansa Musa.
NFM Radio.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much. That was Yusuf once again. Now, Ken Oforiatta has been everywhere and back, and still no money to show. Nothing to show for. For me, I think the world society, the people who control the monies in the World Bank and IMF group, and all our what do we call it, the capital market people and the rest, I'm sure they know that something isn't right. Not about the figures. I'm sure they all know what we know, that you cannot trust a Akufo-Addo and Ken Oforiatta with monies at all. I'm sure that is what they are thinking. Otherwise, how can the finance minister go everywhere? Everywhere. The Paris Club, everywhere. The Chinese, so many people owe Chinese people. And in time, they come on board, they manage to, how do I say it, to come to an arrangement, an agreement to help out. But it's so happening that it is not happening in Ghana or with Ghana. In Ghana's case, Ken Oforiatta, who goes to America to go and talk straight language, speaks he speaks to the figures when he's in America. But when he's in Ghana, he preaches. He tells us how we should refer our problems to the Bible and find out some solutions in the Bible. This is what the guy tells us when he's in Ghana. But when he's in America and other places where people are enlightened, where people have bigger brains, Ken Oforiatta does not preach. He does not quote from the Bible. Like I said earlier on, Papa Kwesi Indom has made this nice blogosphere, one-man blog, which is really nice. Let me see if I can find it. It's really powerful. His suggestion is really good. If I can find it, we will play it. I think I find. Let's go and listen to Papa Kwesi Indom's recent audio podcast.
This is Fresh Matters, and I am Papa Kwesi Indom. Very soon, the political parties and independents in Ghana will begin their processes to elect presidential and parliamentary candidates to contest the 2024 elections.
We will have to revisit this again. Okay, thank you. We'll come back and listen to Papa Kwesi Indom's, what do we call it, lecture. For me, what he has, he says, or he has said in that audio podcast makes a lot of sense, and I think it is worth listening. So, like I said, I will find time. I'll find time to play it fully, so we can all listen to what Papa Kwesi Indom has to say. Okay. Right. So, like I said, I will find time and play the full Papa Kwesi Indom blogosphere, as they say. Well, it's not blogosphere, but I think you understand what I mean. You get my drift, as they say. Papa Kwesi Indom for a long time. In fact, for a while, I've been condemning him for his silence. But at least now Papa Kwesindum is talking, which is a good thing indeed. Okay. I'm looking for summon, as they say.
Fellow countrymen, my heart is heavy as I witness the damage which this clique of neo-colonialist conspirators are doing to our country.
Right, so let's see if we are ready to go listen to Papa Kwesindum's audio podcast. Let's see. Okay.
The political parties and independents in Ghana will begin their processes to elect presidential and parliamentary candidates to contest the 2024 elections.
Let's start again.
We also need to think about the fact that many Ghanaians believe that the Fourth Republic has not delivered the gains This is Fresh Matters, and I am Papa Kwesi Ndong. Very soon, the political parties and independents in Ghana will begin their processes to elect presidential and parliamentary candidates to contest the 2024 elections. We also need to think about the fact that many Ghanaians believe that the Fourth Republic has not delivered the gains they had expected. In particular, it is said over and over again that the much expected democracy dividend has not been delivered. And in this Fourth Republic, we have experienced the Rawlings, Kufuor, Mills, Mahama, and Akufo-Addo administrations. Well, they have done their best. We can say that there's been an expansion in rural electrification, the discovery of oil and gas in commercial quantities. There's an expansion of education. So, yeah, we can talk about free education up to the high school level. There's some additional factories in different parts of the country. You can see some dual carriage roads, not a whole lot, but some, and interchanges that have been built, and some additional infrastructure that is there. But we are where we are. And the facts.
If you have just tuned in, we are listening to audio podcast by Papa Kwesi Indom. This man for a while has been deafening us in our ears with his silence. As they say, his silence was rather deafening. Now, though, he's come out with full vim, full fire. And for me, I think it is worth listening to what he got to say. So it's not that long. Let's listen. Then later I will try and get Mr. Kitiosin, who is the PPP representative, a right-hand man of Mr. Papa Kwesindum. So after the audio podcast, I will get Mr. Kitiosin to respond to some very useful questions that we have, or I have. So let's continue to listen to Papa Kwesindo.
Indisputable. A nation being swallowed by debt once again. And we must know that we have been here before. And our people must not forget that Ghana went and asked to be declared a highly indebted, poor country. We became a HIPC country. There is high unemployment. Preventable diseases are still prevalent. And people are experiencing high unemployment, poverty in all of its forms. And one other item that it continues to rear its head here: intolerance. Intolerance on the part of business, religious, social, and political leaders to criticisms. And that has robbed, and it keeps robbing the country of ideas, innovation, and the benefits we could have gained from the God-given talent of Ghanaians that other countries are benefiting from, and international organizations. So this 2024 elections coming, like all the other ones that have come and gone, is also crucial and important. I, like millions of other citizens, have a personal interest in the 2024 elections. And I don't want to be silent about it. Well, let me talk about my personal interests. Because how well Ghana will fare after 2024 will largely depend upon the leaders who will become president, members of parliament, and metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives. And yes, of course, we will have business leaders, religious leaders, leaders from all corners of society. But it is these elected, selected leaders on the administrative, political side, they will set the tone. So, those people, those citizens who are going to be part of the process to select those to become flag bearers of the political parties and independents, and who will seek to become president and parliamentarians, those people and other influencers, I'd like for you to consider and listen to this. Please choose the candidates who will, number one, commit to be tolerant, listen to criticisms and opinions of the citizens, and make the citizens feel relevant in their own country. Choose the candidate who will work to amend the Constitution to allow the citizens to elect the chief executives and all assembly members, and make sure that no one can serve as a member of parliament and minister of state at the same time. Number three, choose the candidates who will commit to completing projects started by previous administrations. And for those wanting to become parliamentarians, choose those who will go to parliament and make sure that they don't vote for new projects when the old projects are abandoned and left to rot. Number four, choose a candidate that will review the recent financial sector reforms, restore the licenses of those companies wrongfully, the licenses of those companies that were wrongfully, and I'll say that again, review the financial sector reforms, including restoring the licenses of those companies that were wrongfully revoked, and ensure, and this is related, and ensure that Ghanaians regain or take over the commanding heights of the financial sector. I have said repeatedly that no country has progressed significantly anywhere in the world where foreigners control the financial sector. Foreigners are always welcome and should be welcomed. But the commanding heights of the financial sector, I'm talking investment management, banking, insurance, and the likes. Number five,
NFM Radio.
Commit to candidates who will reduce the size of government, particularly the number of ministers and deputy ministers, to no more than 40, perhaps at the maximum 50, and allow the maximum use of public servants already being paid by the state. Number six, choose candidates that would want the state to use its purchasing power to promote indigenous enterprises. Number seven, choose parliamentary and presidential candidates who will commit to put our natural resources, I'm talking about gold, I'm talking about timber, I'm talking about our cocoa, I'm talking about oil and gas, and some of the new natural resources that are being discovered, to put them in the hands of indigenous Ghanaians. And number 8, choose candidates that would ensure that all citizens get at least a high school education, but starting from kindergarten in or near the community they live in. And put up the infrastructure, the complete school buildings with libraries, sports facilities, and places for the teachers and others to live in healthy surroundings. Because the well-educated citizen with at least a good high school education is what we need to make our democracy thrive. And please, let's note, high school education doesn't get us much of anywhere when many countries in the world are now going towards at least a master's education or some good practical technical education. Now, these, for me, these things, they're not everything. This is not everything. But I consider these 8 items the minimum requirement. But with this foundation that I believe I'm putting on the ground, other requirements can be added so that we can get some good candidates from the primaries, from the other selection processes that are to be started soon, so we can get some presidential and parliamentary candidates that the country needs and deserves, so that we get people who will truly make this country great and strong for its citizens. Thank you for listening to this episode of Fresh Matters. You can listen to all the other episodes wherever you get your podcasts. God bless you.
Right. So the voice you've just heard was that of Papa Kwesi Indom, formerly of the CPP, then the PPP. Now, for what I've heard, I can only assume that this is a semi-manifesto. He has outlined or, given some 8-point requirement. As he said, the barest minimum he expects Ghanaians to, to look for, to ask when choosing leaders and parliamentarians and the rest. One word, though, this man mentioned, which I've got Mr. Kitiosin on the line, and I'll ask him, is about the government, that the next government should be tolerant. People, a governance of tolerance. I don't know. On the other hand, it's good that Papa Kwesindom is mentioning tolerance, that we should get people who will be prepared to listen, prepared to accept criticism and everything. Because even this evening I've mentioned how or why the IGP should send orders to commanders to stop them from, not to allow meter readers into their premises. This is a government that restricts criticism. They don't want disgrace. The president is being protected, and the IGP is almost like part of the cabal. What a shame. Kitty Olsen, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm very well. Thank you very much. Papa Kwesi Doom's audio podcast, a very powerful one. But my question to you is, why now? That is first question. Why now? Is it that he's hinting of a comeback, and this is going to be part of his manifesto proper? Or if he doesn't want to come back, why does he feel that this government has been very intolerant, and yet he hasn't said nothing against them? He hasn't protested against them. Take it away and tell us something.
Well, thank you very much. I'll greet everybody who is listening to this program at the moment. First thing I will say is that in silence is dignity. And I'll repeat it. In silence is dignity. My party leader has spoken. Dr. Papa Kwesi Nkrumah has spoken. In this world in which we are, it takes two people to fight. Look at what is going on in Sudan right now. Two friends who are running government. They want their separate wings. They are starting killing more than maybe 500, 600 people at the moment. Two friends who are in the same government. The information that came out of Fresh Matters, we have so many episodes. But this one is, as you said, it tells you something. He has not said anything, but he tells you something. Dr. Nkrumah has got all the patience in the world and all the time in the world to now come out with these strong points, which I believe every Ghanaian who has been listening to it would go home and sit and think about it so that we can get it to work. He is not somebody who wants to come and steal people's money, but he wants somebody who will want to manage the country properly, or somebody who can advise people who care to how best to run the country. Because he didn't waste any time at all to say that he gives 8 strong points. And if we follow it, we will be a successful country. The one most important thing is said is about the indigenous businesses in Ghana. Myself, I have written about 2 years ago that the bankers' license in Ghana that were revoked by NPP administration was done out of spite. And it includes, in the Dr. Nkrumah's banks were included. 300 bank branches were included. The bank buildings are there. His company still pays rent for those properties he has rented, because he knows that in the end, just a little bit of patience. After that, things will settle down. Now we are getting to a position where things are critical in Ghana. Importantly, in the article I wrote, when the banks, those banks' licenses were withdrawn, I made the position clear that now we got so many Nigerian banks in Ghana, and that if there was a war between Ghana and Nigeria, all the Nigerian banks will go home to Lagos or God knows, Ikeja or wherever. Ghanaians will be left with no banks. Morgan Brown, whatever Bank of America is not a Ghanaian bank. Barclays Bank, that has been in Ghana for over 100 and God knows 20 years or so, it's not for Ghanaians. Bank of West Africa, the started chartered bank, over 131 years, it's not for Ghanaians. So if our financial matters, the banks in Ghana are all foreign banks, and we have wars with these foreign banks and they go home, where will we go? Right now, the Nigerian bankers are wondering, hey, my friend, Ghana is going into bankruptcy. This is the word nobody wants to use, honorable gentlemen. Nobody wants to use the word. The word bankruptcy. Ghana, we are now a bankrupt country. We are going back into epic again. Now, the Nigerian banks, Fidelity banks, and all the strange banks in Ghana will be folding up and go. And in folding up to go, they will take their monies, which are now have been seized or being used by Ghana government. These are the wisdom in what Dr. Indom is saying. Support the indigenous banks to stand on their 2 feet, and Ghana will be a happy place. It happened in London, I think around about 10 years ago. One of these banks went down, and the British government supported it. Before it came on its 2 feet. That's it. And Royal Bank Scotland took it over initially. But this isn't happening in Ghana. Now that this is happening, let us see where Akufo-Addo will handle these Nigerian banks. Because we have used the Nigerian banks' money, and therefore the $3 billion we are going to look to Chinese people. We will have to repay all these banks, whatever Ghana government owes, before the banks will continue working or not. And you said something that this man has given principles which sounds like clean manifesto. Of course, we need a man of the caliber of Dr. Papa Kwesi Indom to now take the baton from NPP or NDC and move Ghana towards a better place. Because where we are going now is very dangerous. Yesterday I did an interview about this bank loan and all that. It's wrong. You know what? We are going through with Chinese people. Anybody who was alive before Nkrumah was overthrown must know that. Otherwise, he was not using his brains. What I'm going to say. They came through the NPP, they saw and they conquered everything and destroyed Ghana. That's what they have done up to this limit we are talking about. If they removed Kwame Nkrumah for 57 years, and Ghana is now in tatters, from what Dr. Indom is saying, look at that. We've got so many things in Ghana. We got timber, we got bauxite, gold, manganese, now oil, and whatnot. But, but still Ghana is a poor place. That means there's something wrong. And the people who have handled Ghana, the governments who have handled Ghana, most of them have stolen our monies into UK, into Canada, into USA and all that. Ghanaians, we are not, excuse me, we are not stupid entirely as Ghanaians. We are smart and clever, but sometimes we have been made fools. These governments, they have made fools of us because what Dr. Indom is saying, I mean, there's nothing else anybody can add. We all need these things to be implemented, and we will be a happy place as a nation, Ghana. Everything is being destroyed.
So, this podcast, what does it say? Does it mean he wants to come back? Have you had your meetings and he's coming back, or he just want to sit on the fence and throw in his tuppence?
Oh no, I believe he's not sitting on the fence and be throwing whatever it is. What I would say is that a word to the wise is enough. Those who are panicking, we talk about we are going to break the 8. In fact, they will be breaking the 1, no longer 8. In silence is dignity. That's why I said we keep him quiet. Indom has kept quiet. He's watching. They destroyed him. Even the Ghana government owed billions of cities to Dr. Indom himself. He has funded the Ghana government jobs by paying the contractors to do jobs for the Ghana government, the certified completed job. They have not paid the bankers, but the Indom, if I say Indom, I mean Group Indom. Dr. Indom's company, his banks, his financial institutions, they give loans to these contractors to undertake Ghana government jobs. That is the position in Ghana. It's not like United Kingdom, different, So in Ghana, if you are a contractor, you use your money to do Ghana government work before you are paid. The kingdom thought about this and look, come on, if you need money, come to us. We will support you. We'll give you a loan to do it. And that's what the contractors did. Up to now, they have not given us money. I've written an article. In fact, I would give copies of my articles to you, published all over the world. They are watching us. But finally, what I would say most important, the white people are not stupid. Abofun Jimmy, they know what is happening in Ghana. We must not call Ghana. Abofun Jimmy, American folk, British folk, German folk, Canadians, they're not stupid. They know how badly we are being managed. That is what must pain every Ghanaian's heart. So, Papa Kuchindo and some okay. Yes, some could see one by one. He said, Papa, you see what? He serialized them easily. Line after line, fact after fact, point after point. My goodness me, he has said it all simply. He has not insulted anybody. He rather even appreciated all past governments. But then, in appreciating the past governments, the question we ask ourselves is that why did Indom praise these past governments? He's somebody who is well-cultured person, of a good background, from a good home, who knows how to run a good home, and he knows how to also run a good group of companies or a country. These are the people Ghanaians love to hate. I'll repeat, Indom is the type of person that Ghanaians love to hate. It's a Canada, Japan, and some of Canada. It's a other top NPP treaters, some of Canada. That I'm saying, excuse me, some danger like this, compared to Indom, Indom's administration wouldn't go the way NPP administration is going. That is why he's not insulting anybody, but he's giving Ghanaians a chance to think, to use our brains, to think and think again, and say, listen, you stop all the past governments, whether NDC, NPP, when did I another political party in Babylon?
But Justin, for what I've heard, I'm confused. This guy is someone who has been cheated out of his businesses, serious businesses. He has been sidelined completely. Now, this podcast for me, I hear it and I'm thinking, he is pleading to whoever will come. And if that is the case, I don't really get it because I'm not sure he can get any change from the MPP group, whoever replaces Akufo-Addo. And at the same time, he is not being specific about he wanting to come back. For me, this podcast is like a plead. He was pleading. Of course, unless you tell us that, unless you want to tell us that you know what you are talking about and that he wants to come back, then we can make,
Of course. Thank you. He's not pleading with anybody, but he's talking to the wise people who wants to listen. One can have some. I'm a mere make a fancy. On your suffer, who would be now one can have some. As some on getting you belly. They're getting you belly through. It's why he. You're right, in Casay Tree or Nura. On what can I say not to clearly, which any reasonable person will say, yes, Papa, I can answer some. Now, if you are for also, it's a different story altogether. Because the man is talking from his brains, his head, inside his head. The plan he has for Ghana. Then, so let us also hear somebody else who has plans for Ghana. The brilliant sing. You can just teach me and you did support this, supporting Indum or supporting Kuruma or supporting that.
Obia join here in this conversation. 2696, hello.
Yeah, good evening, Mansa Musa.
Good evening. What's then?
Boko, Michel Kitiosin. I want to say good evening to all your listeners.
You. NFM Radio.
A mood the whole.
Thank you. Now you are talking.
Musa, Kitiosin, Michel Kitiosin. Musa, you see, you've taken the seal out of my ring, if I've said it right. Yeah, Papa Kwesindum, he's really disappointed some of us. The podcast you played, Mansa Musa, like you said, we don't know his intention. Papa Kwesindum is a great politician in Ghana. He has gone for the presidential candidate before. Papa Kwesindum knows very well that Ghana, as we speak, the nation is on its knees. So he should be specific and speak to Ghanaians and let us know what are the problems in the nation and what are his contributions this time he's coming around, Mansa Musa. Again, he should have mentioned it to us. What injustice that this government has mentioned, has done to he, Papa Kwesindum, and what he's going to do about it. Is he going to make sure that he take the state called Ghana on for the injustices that they have done to him and his banks? He was quiet, Mansa Musa. I seriously got caught. Even Kitiosin has rather tried to explain it further. All what Papa Kwesindum did this tonight with podcast, Mansa Musa, I don't understand the head and tail of it. He should have rather even mentioned that he's going to come with CPP.
Kitiosin, wait, let Kwesi finish. Let him finish.
You see, he should have even come openly and said, look, state called Ghana is on its knees. So me, Papa Kwesindum, I'm coming to make sure that we change government and we make sure that Ghanaians are put back on the even keel. He didn't say all that. It's like somebody who was pleading. I don't understand it, Mansa Musa. The country, the citizens are suffering. Papa Kwesindum is a great citizen. He has what it takes to speak to Ghanaians. So why is he not speaking to Ghanaians? Why? He should tell us whether it's coming or it's not coming. You want to work with people.
Kwesi, don't exhaust all your points. Let Kitiosin answer. But before Kitiosin, 1 second. 8303, hello.
NFM Radio.
Emudaho, very good. Now I can hear you. You two can hear me. Kitiosin, Kwesi's point.
Yeah, I understand it, but in fact, I'm a bit surprised that Papa can I know if it's not attacking directly, but also because them many party, this is how human beings are. We could be the same thing will crucify Jesus Christ. Watching the Kuku, when I saw for now, Ubia, Peter Pogani. So of his disciples called the runaway. What you call him Jesus minimum. Them not done of what he ever focused into. And I'm telling you something. Thank you, Mr. Kwesi. And I tell you something. In 2019, what the treatment of the men no Mr. Kwesi or hero, so CEO, so and two. What he so the very doctor, Papa Kwesi referred to what Adaka. All the principal streets of Accra was in Indom, rest in peace. We can see importing the Sika was our poor Ghana or Ghana government jobs. We contractors over 6 billion in Ghana cities. What's all in Papa was not to fund the club. He passed them out. No, we for 4 or them out. Oh, maybe not watcher. Did it go what you told me in 10 minutes? Yeah, Ghana far. You're gonna far. You would JP that go to Ukuna. You will Ahmed Swali Mushukuna. You who Kaka. Kaka also fix the country. You who? Yanti. Jesus Christ. Do you understand? So if we think about this now, you will know where I am coming from or where you are coming from. But you work and argue. You work only. It's going to go on week after week after week. And son, all to the right, the sensible time for people to go for their ballot papers and to say, I want to stand as a parliamentary candidate or as a flag bearer. I want to hear some. There's a one often then a rolling stone or a rolling stone gathers no moss. What you get him? What can say, Pino? Feeling with him. Actually, CCR, TV studio, one casa. Want to Casa book. Indo will take time and sell Wakasa. Okasa now will take time.
Get yourself, you see, what Papa Question Doom said, no, maybe say. For this is the third time I'm listening. I listened twice at home because I knew I was going to do this program. Right? There's no hint that he's saying he wants to come back. There's more hint of he rather pleading to Ghanaians. Hang on. He's pleading to Ghanaians to choose wisely, which is good.
Not pleading. Advising. He's not pleading.
Okay, fair enough.
He's advising.
Okay, fair enough. The word.
Advising all of us in the country.
Yeah, Yusuf.
NFM Radio.
And what have you got to say to this podcast by Papa Kwesinu?
Yes, I listened to Honorable Papa Kwesinu, and in fact, I salute him. I believe he's a man of competence, his experience. If you read about how what President Kufuor said, why he chose him, he noticed the competence that is in him and how he can help his governance to achieve his targets. And that's why he tapped into Paco Sindhu, which was something which the Buzia Dankwa and the other tradition, they do not allow in NPP, but he did that. So Paco Sindhu, and also with the points that he made, they were very solid points. He's trying to tell Ghanaians that if we are going to vote in 2024, we should choose a credible leader, a leader who will be able to implement all these points or bring in policies that will be effective with regards to these points. So, in fact, and he also said something about, was it education? He said the Fourth Republic, there has been free education, which I quite didn't agree because I don't think we've had a great free education in Ghana.
Well, I don't think, you see, look, we don't, he did never say we have a great, he said there have been expansion, which is true. The expansion is that whether it is mediocre or it is good, it is an expansion, and he advised that expansion should start from the kindergarten. Then even he qualified that up to secondary school is not enough because other countries are doing to the university level in mass, greater quantities. So for that one, don't let us dissect into this. But I want you to tell us what you think he's on about. I don't want us to repeat his words. What do you think he's on about at this stage?
As to whether he himself will stand, I believe he's yet to let us know. But he's made some points that I believe were very solid points, which we need in governance, which we have to, respect him for that. And also regarding, his silence, this is a man who has gone through a lot of trauma because seizing his bank and his license, I would say it took him a lot of time to recover because he was going through a lot of,
Sure. We all know that so this affected him,
hence his, absence in talking and all that. So he's actually taking his time to come out, and I believe the podcast was very positive move by him. But I will plead with him that this saying that united we stand, and divided we fall. I think the CPP, the PP, and the NDC tradition, in Kuma is, all these political, ideological spectrum, we should come together because we have the same ideas, even if we differ slightly here and there politically. We should come together, and united, we will stand strong.
Okay.
Syndrome to go along with PP and CPPs alone, and NDC.
It will be a waste of space. I know it will be a waste of time. Okay, Kwesi.
Musa, you see, thank you so much, Mansa Musa. Kitiosin, listen to Kwesi and listen to it. You see, Papa Kwesindum, what the state Ghana has done to Papa Kwesindum and his businesses, it is very bad. So some of us were expecting him to fight back, Mansa Musa. Here, Mansa Musa, Mifi Edna Bantuma, a Hona Mifi, Papa Kwesindum of Edna. So when they collapse that gentleman's business, it's like a brother of mine has been dragged into the mud. So I was expecting him to fight back. We don't know why he didn't do that. It is very sad, Mansa Musa. Look, Mansa Musa, you see the podcast you played. Fine. You see the podcast that you played. Fine. Papa Kwesindum has fine intention to tell Ghanaians that, look, from Fourth Republic and all that, things is not going well. But as we speak, Mansa Musa, the country is suffering. Galamsey is destroying the nation. All water bodies in Ghana is going down. The economy is gone. The physical space of the country is not in good shape. Papa Kwesindum is a banker. He knows all these arrangements. So he should speak to Ghanaians or speak to the government that for 6-7 years that they've been in power, as compared to John Dramani Mama, they are well worse off. And it is time that we need to change the government. Then, in this case, he's directly speaking to Ghanaians. We know that, yes, he's coming to help Ghanaians. But the statement that he put on the podcast, Musa, like he said, I seriously don't understand it. Was he pleading to Ghanaians for what? Was he telling that, yes, it's time for us to get flag bearers to go and challenge for presidential candidate or what? We know. We know that by next year, there will be election. We know. But what is happening that Ghanaians need help is that there is a problem in the country. So here, Papa Kwesindum, as an astute politician, he should be part of the solution. Solution, Mansa Musa. He should sit on the touchline.
Maybe this is his way of being part, He not being very forceful. In fact, later we all came to understand that, his personal, health, everything. So that one, we have to put those things into consideration. But
no, I agree, Mansa Musa. Musa, you see, listen, Musa, I agree. Papa Kwesi should have said that, okay, look, comrades or Ghanaians, I've gone back. I was quiet because I was maybe taking care of, because he's a statesman to Ghanaians. Whatever Papa Kwesi says, we listen and listen well.
But
so he said,
maybe we say we don't understand. Maybe this is not to signify or indicate a comeback strongly into the political limelight, but rather he want to stay on the fence but give good advice. Maybe that is his plan.
No, I agree. He should have let us know his intention. That, look, this is my intention. However, I'm not going to get involved in active politics, but I'll make sure that my CPP fraternity will come back strongly, or to partner, or to take power, or no, to be part of the system for governance change. Then we know that, yes, Papa Kwesindum is bouncing back.
Don't go, Mr. Time in Inti. Kit Yosin.
Yes, sir.
Kwesi is not enthused.
No, it's not for him to be enthused or not. He belongs to a different political party. Indom belongs to a different political party. But if you think your party is not good and you want Indom to come and champion your party, that's a different kettle of fish. But the man has started talking. No sensible man or no wise man in Ghana is talking. Indom is talking. People are attacking him for talking. Do we want to silence him? He is not an MP. He is not in parliament. Or Chenagin, these are the principles of good governance. The good students in class now, the lecture now. Mama, I fully would say, the good students listen to the lecturer. After that, if you want questions, you go to ask, but you don't criticize the lecturer who is teaching you. This is just an analogy. And I will gladly welcome Mr. Kwesi's written criticisms or contributions towards Kwesindum's podcast. I promise you, Indom will call him straight away. Just do that. I can give you his email address. Do put all your criticisms on one sheet of paper or two. Send it to me. I will relay it to Kwesindum. He will come to you. This is what a man is there for. He's not proud. Now,
okay. If you have to send a message, then add my two and say that, look, we have heard.
You put it into writing. You put it into writing, give it to me.
Listen. This is a broadcast program. Let Papa Kwesi know that, look, we've heard it. We've played the podcast. We've discussed it. But mostly what the feedback I'm getting is that he is not being specific. There's no understanding as to where he's coming from or where he's going, what he stands for. If if it's that he just want to, like I say, sitting on the fence is not an insult, or it's difficult to do. It's also a job. So if he wants to sit on the fence and advise, that is fine. But where he's coming from or where he's going, we still don't get it. I mean, we have every right to say our mind that we are not saying what he has said is not good or it's not correct. It is, but we don't get his political stance as it is. So take the message away so that the next broadcast, maybe he's going to be a bit more specific.
Be patient.
One second.
You are not in the man's. You are not in the man's party. You are trying to tell the man what to say. People will laugh at you. Please stay in your lane.
No, we are not telling him what to say. What he says is not getting through, and that is a problem.
No, that's not a problem. I'm surprised that you are thinking this way. Or are you just having a joke?
If I'm having a joke, I won't spend the time playing the podcast. How many people's podcast do I play?
No. Okay, next time I will not send it to you at all. I sent it to you.
I said if I'm joking, I wouldn't spend time to play it. This is what I said.
No, excuse me. I have to be honest that I sent the.
Kitty Olsen, you ask a question or you don't understand the question you ask. You ask me, are you joking? And I'm saying if I was joking, I wouldn't have played it. That means the answer to you is no, I'm not joking.
So you want to tell me what his book was? Do you want to say now that what he's saying is nonsense? I'll just read it to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Yusuf.
NFM
Do you understand what I said? How I've spoken? If it meant I am rubbishing Papa Kwesindum, then you tell me I will withdraw my words. Let's find a third opinion.
I'll tell you.
Let's find a third opinion. Let's find a third opinion. That's all.
NFM, Mansa Musa.
Yes.
NFM Radio. What is it, Fifi Austin? What he's saying is, one of the requirements which Kwesindum really mentioned was tolerance.
Yes.
To criticism.
Yes.
You see, and to listen. So what actually I think the honorable brother should actually know is that he has to be tolerant, to tolerate what other people are saying. Even if you said something, I think you brought in this podcast is to actually expose. I see Kwesindum's podcast as a very positive and a solid message. Someone may see it differently.
Exactly.
You see, it's just like in political science and social science. Everyone's opinions or definitions to things must be respected. You understand? You cannot just say you are right and the other is wrong because of what they are saying. Because we see things from different angles, and we have to respect each other. So what I would say is, we have to be tolerant to each other in this discussion. I see Paco Sindium's presentation, his podcast, as solid, and I respect him for that. All I would like to advise is that he should try and come forward with what his decision as to whether he wants to stand, and also our advice that he tries to unite the Nkrumahs, the CPP, PP, the NDC.
Anyway, you've also brought a different angle to it. Look, all these issues are there, the Nkrumahs and the rest. All these issues are there, and he is somebody. Look, I wouldn't say I feel insulted or anything, but yes, you gave me this podcast. I've taken it so serious that I played it twice at home, and I'm playing it again for all my listeners to listen. And now you are turning around to ask me, are you joking? If I was joking, I wouldn't even look at it.
No, you don't understand the language I used. I'm telling you seriously.
Okay.
You didn't understand the language I used.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm saying, what I've said is that the man has just structured what he believes to be
useful for governance.
A way of governing our country to make it a better place.
Yeah.
He put just a few principles he put. Some people are getting uncomfortable about that. I'm just surprised.
Well, you see, you said something. It looks as if we are talking over each other's head without listening to each other.
No, I don't understand you. I want you to come out.
The fact that there are so many points in what he raised, we are not even discussing his point too. But what he has said.
So which point is wrong in it?
Look,
I want to know which one is wrong.
The only thing worrying me is that I asked you a question that either he is sitting on the fence and giving advice, or is there any sense of a comeback? Answer that one for us.
Okay, I also that somebody is sitting on the fence and criticizing, and it has nothing to do with him, but sitting on the fence happily because the man says something. Hey, come on, attack! No. If you know the content of the man, please. That's why we are not joking here. The man has lost over 10 billion Ghana cedis owed by Ghana government. How many of us on the platform right now is owed 1 billion Ghana cedis by Ghana government? No.
That's why we are really surprised at his silence. Exactly. Because if Ghana government owes me £1, I will be shouting.
Hold on. Yet in all these things, he is got Ghana at heart.
Yes.
He closed down his businesses. He's come home with about 10,000 people. They are not working. Each time I go to Ghana, I see my colleagues in the group.
Listen,
they are not working.
We all admire this man. Look, the point is, to make a statement, when someone has listened to a podcast and he is not in agreement, he or she does not become an enemy. The point, what I'm asking you are not answering me, Missy.
No, I'm surprised.
You are his right-hand man. What can you say to this, what we are listening? Is it that, what is his intention? His intention, let me finish my question. Do you think, you tell me what you know, or what you think you know. Is his intention to, just sit and advise, or this is a signal that he wants to come back?
I know you are a fanatic of NDC. As Mahama put down even 6 points of what he wants to do.
I want information from you. That's why I called you. All what I'm saying is, from what we've heard.
Information? What information?
From what we've heard, what can you tell listeners that you know him? Do you think this is a signal of a comeback? Or you think this is...
Okay, how can you ask me such a question as a media man? Media people don't ask such questions. You leave it to those who are to think about it.
You take me to be, let's say, mediocre. You don't worry. It's a question. I've asked a question. Mediocre. If the question you can answer, say, no, I don't have to answer.
Listen, excuse me. I don't know how many interviews you two have done
what is wrong with you this evening? I'm surprised. Look,
I'm surprised that you are in the media. You are talking like somebody
I am propagating that podcast, and you are rather talking this language to me. Jesus Christ!
In fact, you are telling me that the podcast I sent it to you is rubbish. I apologize.
Did I say it's rubbish?
Just return it to me.
No. Did I say it's rubbish?
But that's what you are saying. That is what you are saying.
Did I say that the podcast is rubbish?
Of course, yes. Because you think everybody should have it. Yeah. From your actions, this is what you mean.
Kitiosin, are you the spokesperson for PPP in UK?
No, see, the questions you are asking me are childish questions.
Yes, it's childish, but I'm still asking. Kitiosin, are you the representative for PPP?
No, excuse me. A journalist does not ask such type of questions.
Kitiosin, you are getting confused here. I've played. Look, you still don't understand. I played this thing twice at home, and I've told you to come and tell us what you think this is about.
No. Tell us. You are who? Who is your station? You ask. What do you mean by us? Who are the us? You as
listeners.
Who are the us?
Listeners.
You are who? Are you?
Kitiosin. So this podcast, Kitiosin, did you send it to me just to keep it on my own? I mean, it's just a private something.
I sent it to you because you are in the media place.
Exactly. So I am playing it. Kitiosin, okay, listen. I will sort information from. I will sort information from the information I need. I think I'm not going to get from you. I will seek it from somewhere. Thank you very much for your time.
No. Let's end this. This is not.
That's why I say thank you very much for your time.
No. I don't thank you. This is not.
Musa, thank you so much. You see, Musa, thank you. You know, the podcast you play that you are trying to ask a question, and Kitiosin is not trying to. You see,
so what was the podcast? About to know how no question.
No, the podcast. Kitiosin should understand that the podcast now belongs to Ghanaians. It is in the public domain. And it is for we the consumers to consume what Papa Kusindum has put in public domain. By tomorrow next, it will be in Ghana all over. Musa, you see, the man mentioned something about tolerance, about Ghana's election, and the type of people Ghanaians will elect. Musa, we all know it. Now, some of the things we want Papa Kusindum to start doing is that, Musa, like I keep saying, now we want Ghana rescued because the country is on its knees. In terms of good governance, in terms of corruption, in terms of accountability, those are the areas Papa Kusindum, even if he's going to do a second podcast, he should look at all those areas. He mentioned something about infrastructure. What good infrastructure that John Dramani Mahama did? What good infrastructure that Nana Akufo-Addo has done? Which one can we compare the good and the bad?
NFM Radio.
Because for that one body, you'll be okay. Because of NDC, you want him to try to judge. For that one, we are not there yet. We are all seeking for clearance because maybe I see it as though it was just a plead, and if it's a plead, I'm in Yagi because he has been treated so badly that he shouldn't be pleading. He should be talking hard to power. You see? And I was expecting Kitiosin to say, okay, maybe it's a bit too early. Let's hang off for some time or something. But rather, no, it's a anyway.
Like you said, maybe Kitiosin have to go back to the man and ask the man the intention behind the message. It's very important. Because Mansa Musa, communication, if you don't communicate properly to the listeners, then it's like you have spoken English, but still you want somebody to interpret the English you've spoken to English listeners. It doesn't make sense.
No.
So we want to plead with Kitiosin. He should go back to his boss and then say, boss, you have given a message. The message sounds like a plead to the people. What exactly do you want to communicate to the public? Because you are looking at communication here, Musa. There are a whole lot of people who are listening to you. The message that Papa Kusindum put out there as a tolerance, as pleading, what exactly does it mean? Who is he pleading to? Is it to pleading to we Ghanaians as to how we should vote? Is he telling us that, look, this government is not tolerant, so we need to kick them out, that another government can be tolerant? No, we need to understand properly, so that when we are situating our discussion, our debate on the message, we know what we are doing. So, Kitiosin, please, take your time and analyze the tape the podcast that your boss has put out there, so that some of us, when we call in to debate the issue, we know exactly what we are talking about, Musa. Because country Ghana is suffering, Mansa Musa. We need Papa Kwesi Indum to also make sure that whatever coins or pence he has on the Ghana's economy, he add his voice to it. We beg him, because the country is on its knees. All sectors are on its knees. And he, Papa Kwesi Indum, has been in government before. He has the intention to become a president one day if he is so strong. So we beg him, when he put the message out to some of us, we want a clear message to tell us that, yes, Papa Kwesi Indum, I went out for good reason. Now I'm ready, I'm coming back. This time, I'm coming back with a different agenda to rescue Ghana. Musa, that is what we are looking for. But to Kitiosin, me, Kwesi, tonight, I seriously beg to differ. You have not done a good job for your boss. You should have been bold to defend the message put out there. But you could not do it, Kate. Please, come back again so that some of us can listen carefully and understand the podcast. What exactly is the content? So that when we want to speak to it, we know what to say, Mansa Musa. Thank you so much, and God bless you, and God bless your listeners.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. King Edward.
Hello, Mansa Musa.
NFM Radio.
Thank
you. Diana Duva.
Kitios and Parkos Indium.
Yango.
Na my mate chairman Akwanka, incoming NDC UK Ireland chapter chairman hopeful. Wakasabia na asamwa or this Parkos Indium Kenya Kitios and so we san hon somewhere down the boxing boy. Metias yenye and somewhere Parkos Indium Kano Kayen Sem Papao. But me family.
You know, mommy, 1 second. Oh, good evening, Bridget.
Yes.
Good evening. Have you heard of Papa Kwesi Indum's podcast?
Yes.
Yes. Obviously, we are discussing it as we speak here in London, and we have 1 or 2 questions to ask. If we can.
Who is this?
Oh, this is Mansa Musa.
Okay, are you putting me on air?
At the moment, we are not on air. I'm in the studio, but I want to know if you want us to have about 5 minutes talk about that podcast, then on air, yeah. Yeah, it is 10 o'clock here, 10:15. Can we do just 5-10 minutes?
I'm afraid not. It's not a good time.
Okay then. Okay, that's fine. I tried other people, I couldn't get better. That's fine. Listen, have a good evening. Right. Sorry about that. ATF4. Na me nimsa yine krampo na ko King Edward yenko Indian komona mempon.
Yeah.
Oh, nipa me friend no ye PPP for almost current chairperson.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yenko.
And somewhere Parkos Indium kama kano mimi who says answer na common wa no na obika se unme futua ene nkebe se obeka kutu akoko hode fo se omrefie na ni nuane akoko se Parkos Indium wo sa efutue di magana fo a ono ankasa mfa anka also ofa sa efutuo no ma na hodadaada kanye ni se awie ni sei. My cousin way time and again. programs I heard also even previous stations. Obia were disappointing ho politics mu. Na what disappointed Ghanaians number one person, me fem Park Syndrome. Now the second person, so ebema sa Professor Frempo Boati and I know on the kasa or program is.
Professor Mumayan, what did not see for
a brain him or Brenna a bit. Now, make go the Professor Frempo Boati and the end of the made the bay that for Namenka Park Syndrome. Park Syndrome, we a figure dear. Ghana for who say, Yamo President Kufu who sa, Intina na memu.
Miss Row, I can do 1 second. Wow, friend, I'm saying Yusuf. What baby our friend, why busy? When I can aid with the general, inti say, Obe Fred or that numbers are Yusuf. Why, inti for that numbers? Kenny uncle.
That's right. And so my President Kufu also, who here man buying. Yeah, or do beka na ba home oppositioner. You play your role. You did your best. And to say ebesi ne Ghana ni bia na ni di politics ya chi ya wo hu NDC ya memuo hu NPP ya memuo de bia yesu say ye prepared force. Ye prepared force. Anka eni daso any CPP. But this same Park Syndrome and wama CPP ejija bra ekoba se wo mo kotoa ba na hwinti bi ba ye na nunti wodi ne nito ne sika so a wodi koti PPP ene ne sabre one doctor ko se bi no no so a prominent person a nanka enim se ono so wo ke bi ewo mu ananka ono so di mu se obetimi aboa nanka party yetimi akeka and chroma is nyina bomu nanka mabeye strong formidable force sa NPP NDC ya omode ye won twetwede kamunsum betimi abehanya mu but because of the selfish interest enene ama say Ghana any that's wo bia e party bia so e ka NDC NPP and it serves him right. And this one on me put ya on anka I was wedding yes sabre no betu no for I was anka what to no for da na se when to no for na was so be to Ghana for dia and ye me say on ko enkotu akoko hwede for say ni nua ne akoko nti wo mrefie
NFM Radio
kakra me kan no Professor Frimpong Boateng nyame aduma chede odiama wo unim dia wo ni aduma chede odiama wo enti politics nkoa ni adwuma se wa anya politics a untimi emeki ewo awiase abrofo kura de ni die maw enne wa ye laughing stock amaganians obia wo ye badwin bebia no utie Professor Frimpong Boateng these days ya wa ye laughing stock. Because
so what you some your friends saying
oh yeah. Politics how do be nya me yi kire no bra wo mo campaign platform bi so nko collapse no sa bre na na wo se kwatwe no free politics mo hwe na de wo di wani mo nyam abewie ya wa ye laughing stock. I know from Pop was in a call where we see a bar radio so or recording a because there was one fire machines in Kotu Galam say and the on what channel a Becky can smagun for way.
You
who know what the any Muama women in no Abasa. Oh, and media Park was in Dumno foot young also to know for the dada. Na sabre no be tu fudia ene oni nkan ko sabia bu sabia nyado a onko yuro mun ko tu akoko hwede afusu omrefie na nsia ne akoko
asema we asema esen kamanso ba ho question the spokesperson na kam yibusa o ade say na me dwen fa ho wo de ka chem say me adwen na me dwen kran no nye correct na chechire mu
ono ngasa wa disappointed dada Get yours in Angazano. Why disappointed into question who be sana or Tennessee Cremo, or who disturb no. Oh, and the Mansa Musa America Kramekan, no, now almost any maybe na yen who's a or minor a bacope. So, and Tibia. O betimi ya o betimi di aboa mo man na tumpo no enye chinchina se tisa menkwa o sabrenka CPP ya nanka wo pa kwati
mu ogina mu yi a senka omuni aban mu kura nka CPP no nke begina
eno na do call parliament e ma president Kufuor de na do kan na ban ho ya na we a prominent person e was party no mu wanga sanso wa bobra obi enim senior modern bosity
NFM Radio.
Na wa ye minkwa pesa minkuminya kwati PPP ene eno ne nti afi na wo betu Ghana force here nto abama ho na wo nim se futuro no anka wan trans CPP mo anti CPP amene anka me third force or minor politics mo na nti kiti also wan anka sa wa disappointed ma ha ho no ho.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed.
Okay, have a good
NFM
night.
Radio.
Yusuf, say who tell me who bet me a sharp because I said me for. Obi can't Yusuf, so who tell me na ko person of friend na of kind of life. Oh. Naka Kwesi say coming friend before King Edward leaves, but my reading a text message in him. And so Kwesi, sorry, King Edward is already gone. Mommy Tichua. Let me teach you across of action for. Hello, Kwesi.
Musa.
Yes.
Now, and you bring the first King Edward, that gentleman has proved to me that he's a clever politician. Thank you so much, King Edward. You know what? You see, some of the problems you're having in Ghana, Mansa Musa, like King Edward said, Mansa, Ghana today, we need a third force political party. It's a must. It is a must. So, like King Edward was trying to explain that, Kitiosin could not stay in to explain.
You see?
This issue of this PPP and CPP, UPC, and it is all irrelevant, Mansa Musa.
It's irrelevant. In him there, my friend mistakenly now, this thing was going on air, and I'm in him for
No, he went up this out.
Bridget, your friend Bridget Jugonibo, or your only chairperson. My friend one Crawford 6. Nina telephones on okay on a pen or 5. The telephone is ringing all right too, but it's a BOBI busy. Hold that sour bomb.
You see,
they are irrelevant. They are irrelevant.
Well. No, it is irrelevant. You see, what we need now is Musa. This UPP and this, they should stop all this gerrymandering and come together so that apart from it, we can get another third force in parliament so that some of this institutional collapse, few people can, create an institution that
listen. People form this party these days. They form these parties these days just to make some sideways money. So because look, Kofi Kranti. Oh, you all want to make a change. Why don't you join other group properly? Join a group or even do a parliament. Go as independent. It can't. No, they are not serious. They just want to make money. Irrelevant.
No,
the word that you
Ghanaians as a whole, Musa, Ghanaians as a whole, we need to be angry enough and tell all the political parties and politicians that, look, let's be serious in Ghana for once. All what we are doing in terms of politician and politics, it is Ghana first. So if we are going to make sure that if the institution can put a trade system in place for the politics to make sure that for the sake of Ghana, we can work together and say, look, we have a third strong force political system, whereby we can get all these three political systems in parliament. Then this MPP and NDC, this bluff will stop. Okay? This is what we need. So we beg this CPP fraternity that, look, it is time you guys put your ass together. Back with Syndrome, if he thinks he's coming back, now he's giving us message, we beg him. He should go home. Okay? The CPP people are waiting for him. All the PPP and all those, they should go home to CPP. And they make CPP the force they want it to be. So that Ghana can stand up and take all these clueless politicians who are leading us to nowhere out. Ghana is bleeding. Me question sometimes when I speak on air, yes, I belong to a political party. Yes, I want to lead a political party. But Musa, if Ghana is not well, how can I go home? If Ghana is on its knees, how can I go home?
My bread, the whole week, Monday to Saturday.
Good night.
Monday to Saturday. Mami Techua also Winneba. Also, I miss the program. Oh, I just came in. Mami Techua, no problem. We'll talk next week, Monday. Monday, I'll be here from 7 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. Ghana time. It is known as Fire will burn you. Not literally, but metaphorically, fire will burn you. You come and like tonight, the fire burn Kit Yosin. The fire don't burn them. So Kit Yosin, or cancel, or send him messages, Kit Yosin, okay, cancel.
NFM Radio, Emutaho.
Thank you, all of you, those of you who found time, who had time to come and listen to Mansa Musa, and those of you who have missed the program partially. Next time, share everything and remind yourself that it's from Monday all the way to Saturday from 7 p.m. UK time, that's 6 p.m. Ghana time, to 10 p.m. UK time, 9 p.m. Ghana time. Have a pleasant weekend. Cheryl.